Welcome to Pulp Mortem, the search for a lost literary classic from the Pulp era. Do we uncover a buried treasure today? Not important. What is important is, do we uncover a buried scandal? You can be the judge. But first, let's talk about the author. Milton Lesser was an American author born August 7th, 1928, and he died in 2008, just shy of his 80th birthday. His first accepted work was an essay published in Planet Stories in 1941 when he was only 13 years old. Lesser earned a degree in philosophy from the College of William and Mary in Virginia. Hey, Bill, Mary, you should consider rebranding. While Lesser wrote science fiction, the majority of his work was in the mystery genre under the pseudonym Stephen Marlowe. He is most well known for the Chester Drum series. Hey, wait a second, that's Conan O'Brien! Lesser also wrote under Adam Chase, Darius John Granger, S.M. Teneshaw, and many more. In 1997, Lesser was honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Private Eye Writers of America. Which brings us to Secret of the Black Planet. Okura the Mighty. Hastings knew that 25 years before, his father had landed here and made the same journey on the sinister black asteroid. Hastings thought he knew what to expect. What he didn't know was that an otherworld Amazon with amazing theory of instantaneous regeneration of cellular composites was pursuing him, but not for his life. The strange creature had other uses for the space traveler. Now, I've read the back cover a dozen times, and it doesn't make any sense. I think it was written by somebody who didn't actually read the book, but rather leafed through and got a few names and went off of the front cover because it's kind of nonsense. Speaking of the cover, it's cool. You may have seen this on my latest book haul, and I love the cover so much that it jumped the queue. The cover is by Jack Fargasso, and it's great. It's ominous and foreboding, and that black sphere truly looks sinister. This little guy here looks lost, like the ball is sneaking up on him, ready to strike. I just wish this text wasn't here, but I mean, that's just a nitpick, it's fine. Secret of the Black Planet was originally published in Amazing Stories in June 1952, and the sequel, Son of the Black Chalice, was printed the very next issue. Both stories were combined and published by Belmont Books in 1965 for 50 cents. I own the second printing, which came out in 1969. You can find the first edition or my edition here anywhere online for $10 to $15. He didn't know his name. He didn't know his past. All he knew was that he was the circus strongman, Bakura. He also knew that any wound he received, he would strangely, mysteriously, instantly heal from it. Then something strange happens during a circus tour to Earth. A beautiful woman recognizes him and calls him by the name John Hastings, but then has to quickly run. Bakura goes to follow the woman, but is intercepted by an assassin. An assassin who has the same strange healing capabilities. What follows is an action-packed story all the way across the solar system, to Mars, to Venus, to the asteroid belt and beyond. It has tons of action, espionage, mysterious shadow organizations, and more double-crosses and dirty rotten scoundrels.
Know your limitations. You are a moron.
The story finally culminates far from Earth on the dubious Black Planet. Let's talk about what I liked. This story moves like it stole something. It is so fast-paced and action-packed. I mean, it was probably written for a younger audience, but that doesn't mean that I still didn't find it enjoyable. If you find yourself sandwiched between some heavy, thick science fiction books where you have to use your brain, this is the perfect palate cleanse. Secret of the Black Planet is junk food. You know the ingredients are crap. There's no nutritional value here, nothing good whatsoever. But man, sometimes you just need some Whataburger. Let's get into the scandal. As I was reading this, I couldn't help but notice so many similarities to Total Recall, which is one of my favorite campy Arnold movies. A man finds out he has another life that he doesn't remember. He's super buff. He finds out his current life is all a lie. A shadow organization tries to kill him. He has latent skills that emerge that he didn't know he had. He has to go to Mars. At Mars, there's a beautiful woman he recognizes. Somehow, he finds out that he's actually well known and an important character. And, as previously mentioned, he's double-crossed multiple times. Oh, and the book actually contains the phrase Total Recall. Jinkies! Supposedly, Total Recall was based off of the story by Philp K. Dick, We Can Remember It For You Wholesale. It was a short story which was printed in the Magazine of Fantasy and Science Fiction in 1966. A year after Secret of the Black Planet came out, and a full 14 years after the original magazine printing. Plagiarism? Scandal? Is Philp K. Dick a fraud? Well, Maybe not. I've never actually read the story by Philp K. Dick. I did look up an online synopsis in preparation for this, and I found that that story actually has quite a bit of differences from the movie Total Recall. There seems to be very little overlap with We Can Remember for You Wholesale and Secret of the Black Planet, but the movie Total Recall actually is quite a bit more similar to Secret of the Black Planet. But if you were to combine these two, you get Total Recall, almost beat for beat. I feel like Chester Drum right now. And now, the bad.
They were all bad.
At one point, our heroes are flying through space, and oh no, there's a small fire in the cargo bay of their ship.
What's that smell? Smoke? Smoke? Everybody, I think I smell some smoke back here.
They make plans to find a place to crash land before the fire grows bigger and they're all burned to death. You don't have a fire extinguisher on board? No fire suppressant at all? You don't have a cup of water? I mean, you guys are in outer space, right? Just open the window for a second. It doesn't make any sense.
They were all bad.
Now, there is some negative racial terminology in this book. I don't think, just judging from the story, judging from the context and the characters, the way the characters were handled, I don't think it is a slight against Milton Lesser. It's probably just kind of a product of the culture. Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't necessarily hold it against him. Just be aware that if you're sensitive to things like that, trigger warning.
I'm triggered.
They were all bad.
Now, you may have noticed that initially I said that these are two stories. Well, I've only talked about the first story because the second story sucks. The sequel is lame. The story is lame. The characters are cardboard. And the dialogue, it seems like Milton has somehow de-aged himself and reverted to an 11-year-old boy because the dialogue is just abysmal. And it's not like the first story, it was Shakespeare. It just got so much worse.
I expected it to be, pretty bad, but this is really bad.
There are pages and pages of the most clunky exposition you can possibly imagine. The second half of this is the worst sort of pulp.
They were all bad.
Grammar and spelling errors. Just in the sequel, just laziness. I mean, at this point, this story has been revised twice. Like, what, you guys can't get an intern or something here to read it? Whatever. Let's have some fun. Is this great? No. Is this good? No. Is this fun? Oh, yeah.
Terrific.
Are you ready for pain? Are you ready for suffering?
Weightlifting. We're given some examples as to how strong Bakura really is. We're told he can lift 300 to 400 pound dumbbells, which is insane, right? 300 and 400 are not close when you're talking about dumbbells. That's a wide range. That's insane. But then a page later, we're told that Bakura has to really focus and strain to lift a 300-pound barbell. 300 pounds is a lot of weight to lift still, but I've lifted 300 pounds, and I'm not a circus strongman.
You sure?
Milton, let's be honest. Do you know the difference between a dumbbell and a barbell? Milty, have you ever been inside a gym? Bro, do you even lift? The second half is lame. The second half is boring. But at the very end, there is one section that is absolutely hilarious. There is a scene with a dying computer, and just the dialogue is so absolutely ridiculous that I laughed out loud twice. So what's the verdict? Personal collection with a caveat. This isn't worth $10 to $15, but it has some things going for it, and it is worth a couple bucks. The cover's awesome. The first story is a pulpy blast, and the potential scandal here is just, it's fascinating to me. I can't stop researching it. But seriously, somebody, if you've read this and We Can Remember for You Wholesale, man, we'd all love to hear your thoughts in the comments.
That is a good idea.
I am genuinely curious if we can discover that there were some hack screenwriters 34 years ago.
Yes!
And that's my review of Secret of the Black Planet. That was a lot of fun, right? Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time with The Green Rain.
I'll blow this place up and be home in time for cornflakes.